Hey there, long time no see. This last weekend's Belgian GP got me thinking. With wet weather changing the field up and allowing for a very impressive performance by George Russell and his Williams, I thought to myself, given relatively idyllic conditions, how would a 17-year-old Formula 1 car compete with modern-day hybrid F1s? How far has F1 actually progressed in sheer pace? Would a smaller, lighter F1 car, packed with a noisy boy V10, actually stand a chance against today's hyper-efficient hybrids? That's what we're here to find out. Packed into Michael Schumacher's iconic Ferrari F2004, we'll be taking on a grid of 15 modern F1 cars at Spa-Francorchamps. While our F2004 came with Kunos's official Ferrari DLC, the modern hybrids have been provided by the very talented chaps over at RSS, so be sure to check out the link down below if you like the idea of modern F1 racing in a proper sim. While you're at it, be sure to leave a like and smack the sub on the way down so that you stay notified of future hyper-realistic sim race recreations. Now, let's see how far F1 has come in almost 2 decades. Here we are, packed into a full grid of 16 cars, qualifying second last, only in front of MOZA Spin. You have to take the wins where you can get them. Revving this gorgeous V10, getting ready, and we launch! We get a better launch than everybody else because we do have TC, they don't. I have to make this count. Jumping up into T1, I'm gaining 5 positions maybe. Cutting off Ricciardo on the inside, and pushing out down towards Radeon. Stuck behind Stroll in the Aston Martin. Amazing start so far, using what few advantages we have in our now ancient F1 car, sparking all the way up through Radeon. And pulling out to the side. Yes, we managed to push him out onto the inside. And trying to take the Ferrari, but we've just entered our first DRS zone, and as you can see, no chance. No chance once the DRS opens up. Into Lacombe now. We're getting some interesting Mount Horner lines here. Pushing on down, this should be one of our advantages, pushing on the inside, but no, we can't hold it. We lock up the brakes on the inside. Coming out towards No Name. You can see that the car's definitely quicker during some slower to mid-speed corners. Its agility, its lighter weight, it's definitely working to its advantage. Not so much here as we get some interesting widening from our opponent up in front there. He's really taking that lesson of make your car as wide as possible while defending quite literally. Beautiful shots from the outside. As we get stuck in the aero wash, unfortunately I have nothing to keep me grounded on the road. You have to be very careful when following these cars that closely. Of course, one of the big issues with modern day F1 cars is just really poor aero for the following cars. Get some beautiful inside with that just roaring, beautiful V10. Coming up to the bus stop for the first time now for lap 2. You can see the cars behind us staying fairly nice and tight. We're forming a bit of a train here. And some nice cinematic views here around the source. As we push on the inside, well no, once again we can't hold it. Ferrari against Ferrari. This is what happens when 2 Italian stallions meet. Coming out towards, and we have to let off a little bit through Radeon. As we push, we get a really good run out there. Trying to get the side draft here, but we've just gone into the DRS zone for the second time. We just cannot get it. Our top speed just is not there. Too much drag on this car. Wow, some very interesting tailgate run type stuff going on in front of us there. Wow, again, when 2 Italians meet, Vaffanculo. Still holding our own. We've been held up quite a bit by our opponent out in front there. Makes me wonder, is that Sainz? Is it Leclerc? Who do I abuse after this race? Some astounding views from the outside there. Giving us the feeling of old film as we push on out again towards Sector 3, see if we can get stuck in the slipstream here and make it count. Yes, we do. Do we have the run? Do we have the speed? It's not a DRS zone, you can't open up here. We might have a chance. Oh, that F2004, just, it looks as beautiful as it sounds. So light and nimble compared to the modern cars. Seeing them side by side there really just illustrates the difference. We brake very late, such a light car, such great brakes. guy behind us just can't keep it composed no matter what. I'm pushing out towards the source again, having gained the position. Now we have Tsunoda out in front. Will we be able to catch him over the course of the next lap? Only time will tell. As we rev all the way up to 18,000 RPM. Absolutely insane. The true, as we spark all the way out through Radeon, the absolute heyday of F1. That's what we're driving right now. What a brilliant car. Now, of course, I'm a bit concerned in the DRS zone. Will they catch us? But I think there is enough of a gap for me to be able to hold it quite comfortably. We will comb again. Nice and easy, keeping it fairly contained. Oh, a little bit too wide. A little bit too wide on the exit. Didn't cost us too much, though. We get a really good run through here. This car's so quick through these slower to mid-speed corners. Great aero to weight balance. So nimble. We're definitely separating ourselves from the rear of the field. We're making up some time to Tsunoda here as he drifts out in front. Not sure what it is with these modern F1 drivers, but they love their sideways. Sun busting out. It's a little bit overexposed as we shoot down towards the bus stop again. Easy flat in the F1 cars, sparking out all over the place. Isn't that just a sight? It's the kind of thing that many of us grew up with in F1. Seeing cars sparking all the way down the straights, drivers furiously trying to control the car as it just oversteered all over the place. Braking nice and late, shifting down manically. Getting a really good exit through there. TC, of course, helping us. The modern day F1 cars not having any assists like that. But of course they do have the MGUK, the MGUH, and of course DRS to help them out. As we get a really good run. Great run next to the AlphaTauri. We just cannot keep it on the DRS zone. Just gets the inside, no chance for us. Wow, what a... some really interesting driving from these guys. They're definitely making themselves wide. Not that their cars need much help with that. As you can see, us somewhat disadvantaged with these slitted slicks. Just something that they put in the early 2000s to actually slow these amazing cars down. So you can just imagine, if this thing were on modern rubber, what could it actually achieve? Well, other than massive understeer. That aero wash, absolutely crazy. It's very, very easy to disturb the air in front of this car. Lots of dirty air coming from that AlphaTauri out in front. The Verstappens and Hamiltons are well outside of our reach, it would appear. This car just doesn't quite have it. Takes a couple of laps to take each new car out. Oh, as we push on the inside, get on the grass, sparking all over the place. We've managed to keep it, and yes, I think we've gotten the position there. Shooting our spark load all over Mr. Tsunoda's face. As we pull out of the bus stop using the assistance of TC. This is one place they cannot keep up with us. Braking hard towards the source, and now it's time. Now we get one more lap to try and close as much of a distance as we can to the front of the field. We're now, unbelievably, in 5th position. From 2nd last to 5th, so 4 cars out in front of us, but I think they've made too much of a gap. As we witness the beautiful Radeon from the inside. Most iconic corner in all of motorsport. Easy flat in these cars. Braking hard for Leclerc, riding the curbs on the inside, keeping it nice and tight. Just lifting ever so slightly off the throttle and pressing down. Oh, a little bit of a snap on the exit. But we're okay, we've kept it. We know what we're doing now. The tyres are starting to... they've lost their peak, that's for sure. It's a pretty good line so far. A beautiful, beautiful engine sound. Unreal watching these cars in motion. Such a fun, complex, and Not much to say with us so far out in front from the midfield, but so far behind the front of the field. We've really carved out our own little space on the track. Would unfortunately take a few more laps in order to catch anybody else, but I'm so impressed with how well this car has done in this race. I never expected it to keep up this much. As we cross through the bus stop for the very last time, the traction very, very good. Our TC doing its job as we cross the line for the very last time in our beautiful 2004 F2004, truly Ferrari's heyday. Well, that was an absolutely ballistic race. The F2004 performed way more admirably than I thought it would. Our opponents were cranked up anywhere from 95 to 100% strength, so they weren't holding anything back. It seems that modern-day F1's crafty systems came at the cost of additional weight, which really hampers the car's performance in slower speed corners. While the old Ferrari had absolutely no chance in DRS zones, it did admirably the rest of the time, using its light, agile frame and that mechanical V10 cacophony to keep up with its opponents. I hope you enjoyed watching that race at least half as much as I loved filming it. Be sure to hit that sub to get notified of upcoming realistic race recreations. I already have a bunch of others underway. So until then, have a great day, and I'll see you all later.